Chasing dreams down that open road. Living fast, baby, all I know. Daddy told me gotta give it my all. Cause we're some blue-collared outlaws.
We're living life at full speed, there's no pacing. Midwest lifestyle, Ohio grudge racing. Taking home the money wide open on that open road. It's full throttle since the baby bottle, baby, this is all I know. And overload, tires roll, tell them I want all the smoke. Slow pokes will choke in my rear view. Adios, run your car, knock your mouth, put your money where your motor is. Heavy hitters, dream killers, kill shot, hold them still, told them chill, we on fire. Life is lit with rocket fuel, stop it fool. Blue-collared outlaws, you think you talking to? Winning attitude all on the line and we ain't about to lose. Beat the brake pads off, knock your car out the shoes. Line them out, chalk them up, underdogs on top again. Never say die, we from Columbus, so we gotta win. Hard working, fast running outlaws and street racing. All your dreams is in my tail lights, you can keep chasing.
What's up, everyone? Tommy, how's it going? Richard, what's up, Bubba? Whew. Bob, how you doing? Man. What the hell is my crazy ass cat doing? Mel, how's it going? Michael, James, what's up, big homie? Man, what a weekend. I'm going to I'm sure everybody's seen the news. Had an unfortunate incident this weekend. Callie Nate, one of the greats, man. Front side, back side, street. Just all around great dude too. Had an unfortunate accident and passed away. And so first I'd just like to start off tonight's live feed with just a moment of silence and everybody just say a quick prayer for Courtney and his family and everything they're going to be going through, and challenges they're going to be facing in the future. So, yeah, I don't know. Everybody's already seen all the stuff, so I'm not going to go into it. It's at this point, he's gone, and it's tragic, and it's about healing, and the people that were really the closest to him being able to make sense about it and figure out how to move on. So Courtney is definitely, one of our good friends, and our hearts go out to her right now, man. And Nate was an awesome, awesome dude, and he'll truly be missed. And we'll just leave it at that. So yeah, yesterday sucked. Wake up, see that. Pretty much put a damper on my whole day. But yeah, hopefully everybody's having I don't know, everybody got to see the eclipse. I don't know. I was what are you doing? I was in the shitter when it happened, but it looked pretty cool, all the videos and stuff I've seen. Absolutely, man. Oh man. Listen, it isn't you. Listen, everybody already better look. You better clarify that is not like that. Somebody be calling me names, getting my DMs, calling me some sort of names. Oh man. Yeah, I imagine so. I just my timing was off, honestly. Like my internal clock was off, and I thought I had a few more minutes than I did. And then I got a text like, "This is so cool." I was like, "Oh, darn it." So what's up, Mr. Jeff Dean? We're gonna see you this weekend at King of Columbus. Yeah, I had a couple coworkers did the same thing. We work a split shift. Well, not a split shift, but you can either work an 8-hour or 9-hour day right now, and because of traffic, or we could get off at 2:15 or 3:15, and since it was going to be at 3:15, and we're in Dublin, which was one of the best viewing spots to see it, I was like, nah, I'm out at 2:15. Thankfully, I missed all the traffic, but all the traffic going towards our shop was a parking. The 4-lane highway was a parking lot, so I was glad I got out of there when I did, man. I'm excited to see that bad boy, man. I'm excited to see that bad boy. What's up, brother? How you doing? So we'll do this real quick. This used to be like a pinnacle event in the country. And they're working really hard to bring it back. And I'm happy to see that. And they're doing 2 of them this year. The first one is going to be a no prep. So nobody has been on the track at all since like the end of October 2023. And my understanding is they're just going to blow it off. That's the only thing they're doing is blowing it off and racing. So it's been, it's been a dormant track for what's that? November, December, January, February, March, April, almost 6 months. So I'm sure the majority of glue's washed away with all the rain we've had, and they're just going to blow the dust off of it and let her rip, was my understanding. So small tire, $200 entry fee plus $30 racer fee. Minimum pot's 5,000. So that's awesome. Look, our buddies over here, their sponsor. I was upset that now that I think about it, I got to cuss Tony out because he was just over there, and I wanted to come over and hang out for a few minutes Friday. And that turkey didn't get a hold of me. I need to come over and see what you've been up to, man. Yep, fresh concrete in the burnout box. Yep, so it's gonna be a real deal. Big tire, 200 entry, 100% payout, plus $1,000. Hard tire, $100 entry, plus $500 to win, 100% payout on entry fees. All classes are 100% payout on entry fees. True Street, $100 entry, plus $500. Stick shift, 100% entry, plus $500 to win. So that track surf. I know you guys can't read it. Some track surface will be as virgin. This will be the first event in 24. Water burnout only. Only one burnout allowed. All classes permitted to burn out across the starting line. Helmet, jacket required. If you don't have proper safety equipment, you don't go down the track. No test passes. Everything's off the trailer. 8th mile, no time, instant green. Slips will be cut in half. CompuLink auto start will be in effect. Pairings via chip draw. If you touch the center line, it's okay. If you fully cross, you are disqualified. If your car loses fire in the burnout, you'll have 2 minutes to refire. If you cannot refire, you'll lose the round. All classes pay $30 racer fee. Event promoter and National Trail officials have final say on all incidents. So, which is I'm gonna put the link here. Also, what's up, Tim? How you doing, buddy? You coming to National Trails this Saturday? So there's the link for everyone to that page. So I'm excited, man. You know, it was this is like I said, man, this was like one of the baddest. You have to have functioning doors. Where did you see that at? I mean, that ain't nothing but a cutoff wheel and some hinges. I probably have some nice latches, come think of it. Like I said, man, this used to be like a pinnacle event, like throughout the country. And they, you know, it kind of died off, unfortunately, and they're really trying to resurrect it. And it seems like it's getting some good support this year. I know they last couple of years they've tried to bring it back to restore it to its former glory, and it's been creeping. But it seems like this year is going to be the year that it happens. And I mean, hey, $5,000 guaranteed for 25 cars, or even 25 cars or less, is a pretty good payout. I mean, I wouldn't disagree with that statement. I have the most fun at that event anyways. I won't know if it's the baddest per se, like car count and all that jazz, you know, I qualify baddest, but it's the one I have the most fun at. That I do not know, Jordan, but I put the link in there to their event page, and I'm sure they can get you all the information. You know, I'm not affiliated with the race. I just love the race. I remember, you know, being a kid, and in my youth, that was like a pinnacle freaking deal. And there's a lot of badass dudes that have won that race over the years. And I'm excited to see him bring it back. I'm excited to see the effort that's going into it this year. So let's see. Next we got. So yeah, I can't. We're going. Yep. Next. Well, that's not this Saturday, but next Saturday on the 19th and Friday and Saturday, 19th and 20th. But we're going to have Landon and or one of you guys, Robert, or I got to call you. I know I was supposed to call you last week. My head's so far up my butt right now, buddy. But next Monday, we'll have one of you guys or a couple of you guys on getting gapped at Lake Cumberland, which Landon Helm, Sherry Beth Madewell, and Robert Barrow are putting that on. And that's going to be a badass race down there in Kentucky. But again, that's next weekend. Don't get that confused with this weekend. If you go down there this Friday and Saturday, you'll be very disappointed. But next Friday and Saturday, you'll have a good time. And they got $20,000 worth of sponsor money on top of across the different classes. So, like I said, next week we'll have them come. One of them, or a couple of them, or all of them come on. However you want to work that out, Landon. And we can get all the details for everybody. If you show up this week, you're gonna get put to work. So we'll go over. I do have some guests coming on real quick. Well, here shortly. So we'll go over Uncaged real quick. I changed some stuff up. I decided to go back to our old payout methods, man. One of the things that I've heard, is people are getting sick of only first place getting paid out. And what we used to do when we originally started doing races was we pay out first through third, and we do it on a split. So we're going to go back to that for Uncaged. But one thing we used to do when we were at Marion was, technically there's 2 third place racers, right? And so at Marion, whoever had the fast, which we would do instant green off the tree, and we could go back to the timing system to determine who was actually third by who was fastest of those 2. Since we can't do that because this is a backwards race, I'm going to change this. But first place is going to get 70% of the buy-in money plus 100% of all the sponsor money and any prizes donated for the small tire class. Any of the classes. Second place will get 20% of the buy-in, and then both third place winners will have to split the 10%. So, someone hit me up yesterday about that and pointed that out to me, and I was like, duh. I just autopiloted what we used to do at MCR. But since we can't do that, what we will do is both quote unquote third place racers will get 5%. So if we base that off of last year's payout, which was $27,000 and some change, that means both third place people would have gotten $1,350 each last year instead of nothing. Second place would have got I can't remember what the math was, but second place would have got a decent chunk, and first place still would have got hella good money. So I think that's across all classes. We're going to do that for small tire second chance, hard tire, and stick shift, which are our only classes this year. Also, I know I've gotten some heat off of this too, but the motorcycle class was a flop last year. And every time motorcycle guys are like, do the class, I do the class, and it's a flop and it takes up some time. Big tire, unfortunately, we only had 6 or 7 cars show up last year. And so that takes up some time in the event. And then the ladies class, I can't remember what we had for a turnout, but the unfortunate thing with the ladies class was during the negotiation phase, we had several husbands who were overly enthusiastic and made the negotiations take way longer than they should have. And when I tallied that up over the course of the night, it cost the event like an hour and 30 minutes. So unfortunately, we're not going to have a ladies class either, which everybody knows I'm a huge supporter of that. I mean, we've always done that since back in the MCR days, man. And I really hate to do that, but honestly, I can't have an hour and a half of the event get taken up with stupid arguing, just to be blunt about it. And the unfortunate thing is, because of that arguing, we did unfortunately have that accident at the end. But had we had that hour and a half back from the arguing of the ladies class, honestly, we could have got the track cleaned up, and by last year's rules, we could have paid one person, the 27,000, I think it was $27,300 or whatever it was, instead of splitting it 3 ways, because, the main goal of any race, right, is we want to know who number 1 is. We don't want to know who the top 3 are. And those top 3, I guarantee you, Kevin Fields, Raggedy Ann, and damn it, not Patches, but why am I drawing a blank? I can see his big hulking ass body and face, but I cannot get his. But anyways, those guys that come up from South Carolina, Patchett, Team Denver, those 3, I guarantee you wanted to know who number 1 was. And if you ask me, it was probably Bradshaw. Thank you, Jarrett Bradshaw. Jeez, I think I'm getting dementia. I don't know, but yeah. So I mean, I kind of think, based on what my eyeballs saw, it kind of looked like Jarrett would probably have been the one to get first place. So I'm sure he much rather would have taken home all the money, or a larger portion of the money, than an even split 3 ways. Man, I got a bone to pick with you. You didn't even call me when you were up here Friday. Oh, you're on my list. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do. I know some people probably won't like it, and that's fine. I think more people will like it than won't, and we'll have a Friday, mofo. What's up, brother? How you doing? So I think more people will like it than won't. Like I said, that'll pay 4 racers in every class now. And by dropping the other classes that ate up time, now we can definitely have the second chance race. That was the other part of like the ladies class, the motorcycle class, and big tire class, because we have the curfew to contend with. Getting rid of all those elements also allows us to make sure we get the second chance race in. That was unfortunate last year that we couldn't make that happen, but we got curfew. So, but I told you guys last year I'm going to make some drastic changes to improve this race for everybody and make sure that we can go with as few hiccups as possible and just continually making it a better event. So we're going to, we got some sponsor announcements to start making as well. I'll start making those on the page. Our rules are the same as last year. I hate rules. Everybody knows that. No, I'm not going to do lock-ins this year. I'm not going to limit the class. We had 98 people last year, 98 in small tires. We had over 170 cars on the property. And I kind of don't see the event getting much bigger than that. And moving that much money electronically is just a pain in the butt for me. It's not income for me, but then the IRS is like, well, WTF? And I'm like, well, I don't know. So, nah, I'm not going to worry about lock-ins. I think people will show up with some of the stuff stuff we got planned. Like I said, it's going to get bigger and better. And it's definitely everything I want to be involved in this year. I want to be racer benefit focused. I want to be transparent about everything. I don't want to do any smoke and mirrors bullshit like a lot of people do. And I'm not going to lie to you guys or sell you guys pipe dreams. I never have, never will. And I think I've built a pretty good reputation. We've definitely had some flops, but we've had some really great hit successes as well. So we try to learn every time and improve every time. And I think this is going to be the best one yet. So, what do you say? If you build it, they will come, right? But hell yeah, way better than PK. No, brother, whenever you're ready, you know, I'm flexible. You better just show up. We're not going to turn anybody away. I mean, it would be nice. The one thing we're changing too is we're going on the second chance. We're going to go back first and second round. We'll be able to enter the second chance race. So, hey, I mean, you know, that's going to be a whole nother badass race, and it'll be just as good as the main event because all those same guys are killers and they all have data as well now. They just didn't have as good a luck in the main race. So yeah, I ain't forget about you, Mel. We got you know, Raggedy Ann, CJ Buckner, and the guys, and Jessica, guys and gals, are heading up the wheelie contest for the Power Wheels. So there were 3 classes: 12-volt stock, 12-volt modified, and 24-volt modified. Wheelie contest will be with the 24-volt modified class. Whoever has the biggest, baddest wheelie in the competition, CJ Buckner and Hoover's Power Wheels will be heading up the wheelie contest. So that's going to be awesome. I mean, listen, who better to be a judge for a wheelie contest than CJ Buckner? I mean, I can't think of many people who've done as many or more wheelies than that dude in no prep. So yeah. So other than that, man, everything's pretty much the same exact structure. Making sure that you know what, I may stand to be corrected. You may be right, sir. I would say Aaron and MR2 and CJ Buckner are definitely in contention. You're absolutely right, sir. I can't even argue that fact. Both of you do wheelies at no prep races like it's your job, which is I didn't put on here, but Young and Boosted doesn't know it yet. But of course, they will be doing the wheelie contest again this year. I just volunteered them for that. Oh, by the way, did I mention we have Wallies? So we have 2 Wallies. So one will be for small tire, and the other will be because I think honestly the cars are similar enough in speed that it works out just fine. Stick shift and hard tire winners will have to race for the last Wally. And I think that's probably a fair enough race. That makes sense. And what else? I think I did. What did I do? Oh, and I'll put $500 on top of that race also. So between hard tire and stick shift finalists, they'll race for the second Wally, and I'll put $500 on top of that. And then Also, I'm going to put $2,500 out of my own pocket right now on small tire under Callie Nate's name, under Bully Tune Performance, as a sponsor in his memory. Now that we're sitting here talking about it, so for the winner of small tire, I'll get $2,500 from Nate, which I look forward to him coming out again this year, and so I think he would enjoy that. But we'll there you go. There's another 500 from Tony. So 3,000. I'm not even asking you. Well, 3,000 for small tire on in Callie Nate's honor. We did not have a True Street class. Last time we tried True Street, we only got 6 entries, unfortunately. So we're not doing True Street. We haven't for a couple of years. But I think that about covers everything. If nobody has any questions, I got 2 pretty badass dudes who were making some pretty awesome waves yesterday, sitting in the wings. I'm gonna give it a second here. I know I was even though I was bumming out yesterday, these 2 guys definitely put a huge smile on my face. So welcome, John and Ethan.
Hi there.
Oh, how you guys doing?
Doing pretty good. It's Monday, but not a bad one.
Yeah. I'm gonna be real good for one of you guys. Well, for both of you guys, but one of you's probably smiling a little more today than than the other.
Yes, sir.
So, man, you guys kept posting up some pretty awesome numbers and some amazing progress there yesterday, man. Why don't you walk us through it?
I don't know. I really didn't have a goal for yesterday other than just to get more comfortable in the car and go faster. And definitely exceeded my expectations for sure.
So what were the 2 worries going into yesterday? The new learning things.
So this was the first time using line lock, because otherwise in Pour Your Own Puddle we just did trans brake burnouts. And then bumping in, I did it in the past, but wasn't as comfortable with it. So
how'd those 2 things go?
First pass was a little rough with bumping in, but otherwise everything was just fine. Super easy.
Like a pro now. And
I was going to say, man, how many passes?
The reaction times blow me away. Like, people in the other lane are in trouble with this dude.
Yeah, I think 4th pass was an 038 on a Pro 3. And then, I think started 074 and then 060 something. The last pass was a little terrible, but before that, it was pretty good.
It's all right. You can sleep once in a while.
It's all
especially if there's nobody next to you.
Absolutely. Yeah, Aaron said badass driving.
Thank you.
So what were some? I remember seeing some of the slips, but what were some of the numbers? I'll let you tell them because I would want to tell them.
You have them in your stack.
Yeah.
Say, we started with the tune-up that I ran last year when we ran 850 index at one of the races up here. So it ran just about exactly on that number. I think it went 551. he was running 8th mile because it was windy and he was a little concerned about the chute. So we just clipped it at the 8th, kind of. He ran it a little long on one of them and coasted to a 7, so that was sweet. But yeah, he's got the slips in front of him now.
Yeah, first pass was 5:51. Second was 5:31. Third one was 5:22. Fourth one was 5:11. Fifth one, I think I spun. And then sixth one, 5:05, and that was the 795 at 152. And then the final one was 5:00 with a 6.
Nice.
He's riding that 00 bus that a lot of us have. Man, I tried for like 6 weeks to go a 499 with a 99999, and whew, the wheelie control cost him this one. The G meter dipped when it set the front tire back down. So, like, man, next one out.
No, they're off to an awesome start. I mean, this is your third, fourth outing.
Yeah, I think fourth, under 20 passes in the car, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's hella awesome progress, my man.
He takes the car now and goes and picks up his buddies out on the street. So there we go, boy. The track is like controlled circumstances now.
Yeah.
Where's your next event? You got your eyes on anything?
I'm not really sure yet. I'm halfway dug in to get the race car together. That should be up and going in the next couple weeks. But we got some good options. I think Chuck B. Humble's got a race at Ubley, I think this coming weekend. I think Milan is a race the next weekend, I believe.
Yep.
So I haven't committed to either of those, but they're both in play. And the exhaust is still on the car, so it's in True Street trim. We just got to swap the tires back out and hang all the weight and turn the knobs on the struts and take the limiters off, and we're back to business. So about 15 minutes to go from a 490s car to a I don't even know car, backside car. So,
yeah,
pretty neat.
It did good. Was one time last year at Milan or two?
Say 2. I think I raced it 2, and
I raced it once.
yeah,
I made passes there. My
Yeah,
first ever passes were there at night.
pitch dark, pour your own puddle.
And then after that, I did do one event and we split.
Was that Onondaga?
And then after that, I think we did one Onondaga.
I'm gonna say the one that he split. He had a car that was competing. He had a car that potentially could have won. You know, it's all hearsay until it happens. But car next to him oiled the whole track down, and they called it. So it's like, man, it was so close, snatched out of.
I felt good about that one.
Yeah, we were in the game.
And let me back up for just a second. How old are you, young man?
17.
Just for the viewers who are unaware, he's still in high school.
Pit bike animal.
He's still in high school, so in a year or two, you guys are really going to have your hands full. Probably this year, but
we didn't want to wait. So,
but realistically, probably go take a season or two to really get the mechanics down and be able to autopilot that monster. And
kind of been, it's trying to figure out how to really like not coddle him, start giving him a little more line as we go, but yet not overwhelm him at the same time. It's hard to learn if you never have kind of a challenge to do something, but you don't want to get too far out either. So it's been kind of a tough line to toe.
No,
the car has a lot of power left. Like yesterday, we're only 21 pounds of boost. There's 400 more wheel horse that I've made with that car.
Right.
And yeah, it's it's been 740 to the quarter and driven back home. So so
yeah, no, it's you're off to a great start, my man. And I was happy. I was with you the whole time yesterday. Like I said, it was kind of dragging ass on productive things and scrolling more than I should have. But I was happy to see all your progress.
yeah, it's a tough deal. Just, we get hard news, and it's, like yesterday's stuff. Like the two of us weren't close with Nate. Like we weren't first name basis up close, but like we've been next to that guy a fair amount. We hung out with him at War in the Woods. We're on the starting line. His car is right next to us. Like, so it's not like, it doesn't feel like a personal loss, but it feels like a community loss, and almost like Superman died. It's not something you expect, but
yeah,
it's a tough time, man.
We are,
it's a
we are all family to some degree. We're all connected.
Yep,
for sure. I agree, and it's a tough loss.
It is. It's a big one.
Great dude, outside of being a great racer, and yeah.
The connection, the 6 degree thing. He's linked to a lot of people that I know. Tuned, helped without working for people. My buddy Brandon Mork, he would be helping Brandon in the pits, and he might be racing Brandon next round. Like,
absolutely,
it's a different thing. Not everybody does that, and
right.
That's what I've kind of seen of him, and just like, and I mean, I was talking with them at PRI, with Chris Frank at Frankenstein, and just the discussions that he has, the technical knowledge that he had with Chris Frank, the stuff that the outsider would never know that he knew. Intake port velocity on one head versus another, or valve size, or nuanced stuff that your quote unquote just racer or just tuner doesn't necessarily know all that stuff. And it just it was another level. And yeah, so it's just kind of interesting, the stuff that, stuff I keep kind of rolling through my head. And it's like, what was different about that day? Could have been any of us. It could have been, it doesn't usually happen, but it doesn't mean it can't. But it's just tragic when it does. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he was, yeah. Well, when it's our time, it's our time.
Yep. We don't make the rules.
But it's never long enough. So, that's just make sure you appreciate your loved ones and let them know you love them frequently, kind of deal. Definitely puts that in perspective.
Your circle matters.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what else you got going on, man? I know we talk like frequently, but what else you got cool going on in the shop or anything that everybody else doesn't know about?
I got a few no prep cars coming up to tune here shortly in the next couple weeks, and should be some interesting stuff, some updates on familiar faces, and should be a good time this year. Make some jam, do some wheelies, win some races, hopefully.
I'm intrigued as to who that is. Maybe if you're allowed, you'll have to tell me privately.
Yeah.
So you say that the other car in a couple weeks? You got
motor runs. Sounds sweet.
Yes.
Waiting on a couple parts. We're doing some got some body work, actually some repair from when I tried sending the intake to Mars. It damaged the carbon nose, so we got some carbon repair and a new hood. So got to get that on there. Got to retorque head studs, look some things over, and swap the right converter in it. It's got one of my spares in it right now because the primary's out getting some updates. So
Nice.
soon enough, we'll be ready to try and unleash that beast.
You got any races in your sights for that one?
June is actually a really busy month as far as prep events at US 131. So we have import versus domestic put on by some local guys out of Grand Rapids up here. So we always go and try and support that. We got to see how all the chips kind of fall. If we have all our ducks in a row, Ethan might be in the 850 cert or 850 class, index class, and I might run one of the heads up classes with the other car. And then I don't remember if it's the weekend before or the weekend after that, I think, is Streetcar Takeover at 131, which is usually killer surface, a couple days of private testing before the event starts. So it's like a Super Bowl at home. It's about as good as it gets as far as prep goes. So that's usually where I try to keep the hood on my car. I got enough map sensor now to probably blast the hood off the thing again. So it's danger zone. We'll see what we can make with it. Fast that little stock sleeve, stock block motor can go.
And what's your fastest with that one?
It's been 423, 173. And it had a fair bit of ballast in it at that point because we had some chassis limitations. So we were putting tail weight in the car just to kind of band-aid the 4-link limits. Jordan at J&E and his team redid the back half of the car. So with hammer concepts brackets. So pretty much we can put the 4-link from the ceiling to the asphalt. Like we can go any which way with it. So super excited with that. Lost a fair bit of weight out of the car. Got strut tower weight out of the front and trimmed some other stuff that didn't need to be there in it. And so it's even leaner and meaner, and hoping we can run that thing high power with minimal ballast. And I ran that thing last year with close to 200 pounds of ballast in it. So net, we can be 200, 250 pounds lighter. I'm a little lighter than I was last year. So and if he keeps it up, he'll be in the car. So someday. But it's been 102 60 foot, 200 pounds overweight. So
nice.
We get a handle on the chassis and everything. This thing's going to go. My goal for the year is 990 60 foot, 267, 330, and 399, 182. That's a tall order. That's nitrous car numbers, but I think we can make the horsepower to get there. It's just power management, converter nuance stuff, and tuning. So I'll let you know if I find a tuner.
I know how you operate. I'm sure that you'll be plugging away at every little thing to get it there.
The wrenches haven't been turning yet, but the screws have been turning in my mind. Oof, I got a bunch of ideas. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm excited. Let me know when that date is. One of those dates, I just look at my calendar. June is pretty crazy. You got the first weekend is War in the Woods. Second weekend
there's races, some of them on Friday and different ones on Saturday, and it's almost every weekend. I think there's 1 or 2 races. You're like, man, wow.
Yeah, COTS is the next weekend, and I don't have anything for the 15th. Then Detroit Hood TV the 4th week Saturday, and then Gangster's Paradise the 5th weekend. It's crazy. But I'd like to come up there and peep you out on the prep surface.
Yeah.
I need to do that. I need to switch things up a little bit. I love the no prep stuff, but I love
them both. There's so many. It's crazy. There's so many people that are like polarized. They're like, no prep sucks. You gotta have radial to go fast, and you got the other side, and then you got the majority of us that are in the middle. It's like, you know what? Where are we racing? Is it a tree side or is it backside? And what's the surface this weekend? Because I'm gonna set the car up and go.
Yeah. Well, it's good to have options. So, like me, being 10-year-old hillbilly Josh, I got drug out to the street racing spots, and that was my first, experience to any kind of drag racing. But being in the mid 80s, you also knew you had to go to the track. So, and everything was prepped back then. So it really was like, I love the street stuff because the excitement, but yeah, you just knew that if you went to the track, they were spraying it. And that was just how it was. So it's not that I dislike, I don't dislike there. I appreciate all the nuances of bracket racing because it can be very technical and all that stuff. I'm just not a guy who lives in the world of using 50% of my horsepower.
There is a bracket racer from other side of the state, Detroit area, that flew out to, I think it was Arizona this past weekend, big national event. Donnie Hagar is the guy's name, and he races quite a bit at 131. He flew out and drove someone else's truck this weekend and won a $30,000 pot, won the whole thing. Last year in St. Louis, he won the $1 million race. He won another race the next day. This was like the $1 million fling thing, whatever big bracket race they had in St. Louis, middle of the summer last year. He won the $1 million. He won one of the smaller like quarter races the next day. And then he went to a different track 2 days later and won that. You're like, so he went this past weekend and won in someone else's truck. Like, good grief.
Yeah, I appreciate the skill and all that, just out of principle, Also, it's all which I know no prep's kind of starting to get that way, where it's all computers. A lot of these guys are relying on a lot of computer stuff. There are some badass bracket racers out there that aren't using 100% technology to drive the car.
Lots of drive shaft curves in those things now.
That's extra impressive when and then no prep. The guy. There's a lot of guys who get the data and then drive the car and don't use because it will limit you potentially. Well, just like you hit the wheelie control and it made it dive. You potentially could recover quicker as a human computer.
So just bought a new wheelie sensor for the street car. So we were getting data yesterday with it, but I told them on the last pass, I spiced it up a bit. I'm like, be ready for a wheelie because it's not active yet. We're just getting data. So I have a table now, but it was not enabled for yesterday. So that was all him.
Yeah, but I mean, at some point, he's going to turn that off and he's going to be able to drive it. And always put that 480 tune-up in, somehow go 6.0. TC must be driving itself.
That's that pro mod, Daniel.
Man. No, I do. I like it all. I like index racing. I like prep racing. I miss, and I know Michigan and then some of the southern states seem to be the only ones that even have it anymore. Is I miss real grudge racing. I know some people don't get into it because of the arguing and all that, but a lot of that's peacocking and strategy. But man, I just love to see two guys line up for any amount of money. I love to see the big money, we all do, but I mean, you can't even get guys to grudge race for $20 anymore. It's like, why are we even talking? What are you talking about? $20?
I need 3 spots in the clear. I'm like, what? Yeah. Wait a minute. I thought you said you were fast.
Which I'm about a good negotiation to make things fair. If but there's also the hustle element to that negotiating stuff too. You definitely got to be careful and educated for sure.
It's just a stock block 5.3. Never been fast.
Yeah. You ever went 6-0 to 145 and think to yourself, what the fuck?
Whoops.
So, I mean, I love street racing first and foremost, but, you know, no prep's awesome. Front side, I'll be honest, front side, no prep is kind of, it's not as described anymore. Like, they're kind of, a lot of these tracks are just not, I don't know.
2 passes in, it's a bracket prep.
Well, like they'll have a prep.
Fast.
They'll have a prepped test and tune Wednesday or Thursday, and then Friday or Saturday they'll have a no prep race, and they're like, we just blew it off. Well, okay. And then you got guys going, you know, 440s, 430s.
Yep.
You know, I guess it's just I'm not a fan of it because it's a misrepresentation, to be honest.
Yep. It's the craziest thing to me that I've witnessed myself. I raced at the time, it was like Anarchy, or like what COTS turned into. Then COTS ended and Anarchy kind of picked it up for a couple years. The Anarchy 275 class. So it was on a 275 radial, DOT radial. And it was at that point 1/4 mile. So pretty wild. And yeah. I went to Great Lakes Dragaway. I went the fall of 2018 and the spring of 2019, those 2 events. And I tested the Friday before because there was open testing all day on Friday. And then they scraped overnight, Friday night. And I already had a tune-up. The car would chatter the tires leaving on Friday, you know, with warm track, with a bunch of cars making passes with good rubber down. They scraped it down to concrete, like it was white, like it was scraped clean. They did a really good job scraping it. And if you walked it, it was bare, but it would glue your feet to the concrete. That surface got better. It was 2 numbers quicker to 60 on a radial with no limiters, no nothing, no changes. It was 2 numbers quicker, scraped. So
smoother.
It's one of those things. It's like, yeah, we scraped it. Yeah, you just made it better. Like,
yeah. No, I think
wild.
You got to scrape and wash it and that. And I understand it's a lot of work. Just
you
know,
sprinkle dirt on it like people used to do.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know, that's one thing I will say. Like, they do at Mount Vernon, man. They got the torches and they scrape the hell out of it, and then he goes back through and scrubs everything with bleach. And a front side no prep, it is. You are skating like crazy the whole way down there. When Pacemakers does a front side no prep, it is not sticky at all. And it'll take a couple rounds to even get halfway sticky. You know, that first 60, 100-foot range from all the pedals and the glue. But nope. Racing's racing. I love it regardless, though. You know, I love half fender races the best. I don't care if you're going 7 seconds, 4 seconds, 2 seconds, 18 seconds. Those are always the best ones. Yeah, you know, when it's half a fender, man, I don't care who you are, how fast they're going. Everybody is always standing up and everybody's always excited. And I am too. Oh, man. Yeah. Well, I think that probably about does it. You guys got anybody's been helping you out with the car? Did you want to shout out too?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, I got a whole bunch of people. Streetcar, Motion Raceworks, Fuel Injector Development, PTC. Trying to think, Holly, and I mean that car has been together for a long time. And the other car, RC Components, Holly, FID, Fuel Injector Development, Circle D. Sonex, got a whole bunch of stuff. Motion Raceworks, J-Wire Solutions, my shop, obviously donates hours on ends to stupid upgrades, but yeah, pretty exciting. We'll see how fast we can go with that thing. This is the last year probably for the stock block stuff. I got Baker Engineering putting together a billet motor for next year, assuming all the pieces fall into place. It'll be the same idea, but just more power potential. Be able to make 3,000 horsepower if we need it, and be the same weight. So
Nice.
Kind of a wild one. But
and for those that don't know, what does Capizzi Automotive do? What
my two specialties right now would be transmissions, especially performance, or I still do the stock stuff, like especially 6L80 stuff, 6L80, 4L60E, 4L80, late model Chevy truck stuff, but lots of race car transmissions, turbo 400s, glides, 4L80, big power type stuff, and lots of like used race car transmission repair or adjustment, or fixing converter charge stuff, or a transmission dyno, so we can monitor pressures and try and figure things out that they might not be assembled wrong, but just a little nuanced stuff, orifice control stuff. Sometimes you can fix a problem, and not have to replace much of any parts, just change some hole sizes and spring rates and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, between transmission stuff and especially Holley EFI tuning, I do a little bit of fuel tech as well, but at this point, about 95% Holley. So, do a fair number of local cars, and then got quite a few cars in the last few years that came from out of state, and yeah, it's been pretty cool. Been blessed to be trusted on the keys for people's projects, so it's fun stuff.
What's up, Gabe? This guy right here might know a thing or two about LSs at Capizzi Automotive. Going back to the billet block, Daniel said $399 or bust. Yeah, that was my thought too.
Man, I got two stock block motors this year to use up. So for that car, we got the one that we went 423 with, and then we have the current one, which is all fresh, with the Brodix heads and a little more camshaft. So I'm gonna let her rip. We got a 7-bar map sensor in the car. I buried a 5-bar at one point last year, so we'll see. And I got some more tune-up to go. We got more turbo on the car, Bullseye. I got a Bullseye NLX on the car, so we got a 98 on the car this year. I had a 94 last year, and I fully intend to use everything the 98's got. That little 5.3 better say its prayers.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Time to uncork it.
Well, good deal, brother. Well, appreciate you guys coming on. Ethan, keep up the good work, my man. Hopefully we'll see you making some passes at PYOP in that street class, hurting some fill-ins. And
that's a good time. Bunch of my people there.
Steel block or aluminum?
Aluminum. Only way to fly. Late model aluminum is the best. Gen 4, LC9, LH6, 2007 up. And these motors still run 58X internal reluctors, good cranks, good aluminum rods, thick wall pins, and I think they're Ross pistons now. We ran diamond a couple years ago, but we're starting to fold the diamond pistons in half, so onto a stronger forging. So making 2,000 flywheel horsepower so far, and that was about 50 pounds of boost
with the 5-bar. And how many pounds are you trying to cram into it with the 7?
I'm gonna say a 5-bar against. So this would be a couple years ago against Nigel Alexander at LS Fest. So it was either 2 or 3 years ago. I was on the scramble against him and saw 59.7 pounds. And the converter was too loose, or I likely would have caught him. The thing went 8,800 RPM, about 60 pounds of boost, just was not transmitting into drive shaft RPM. So, but we had so much weight in the car because the track was terrible that weekend. And then they prepped it for that last day with no testing. So it was a crazy backpedal, and we didn't take enough weight out.
Ugh. Isn't that amazing for a stock casting?
It's insane.
To handle that kind of.
You can put 15 or 20 on the scramble and not even think about it. It's wild.
It is.
Fuel hoop it and copper gaskets, good receiver grooves in the top of the sleeves, and let her rip.
Nice.
Still hydraulic.
Right. Yeah. You know I can babble forever.
Mm-hmm.
But Jasper's going live, so I know some of these guys will want to go over there and see what he has to say.
My guy Jasper.
Got to support my brother.
Yep. Great to chat, man.
Plus, it was leg day, and I'm tired. Always good to talk to you, brother. Yeah, we'll chit chat, Ethan. Hopefully, we'll see you in the lanes at PYOP. Hint, hint, Dad.
Oh yeah,
yeah, we'll be there.
Brian's a good info, guys, and I guess maybe we'll have to come. Maybe we'll have to do another one with a more LS platform Q&A or something, man. I think you'd be awesome for that too. All right, guys, have a great evening. I'll talk to you guys.
Yeah, you too. Thanks, Josh.
Thanks. What's up, Cody? How you doing, buddy? How's the car coming along? Man, always great to talk. John is just one of the best people, man. And you know, we just, that's my dude. That's one of my, you know, if you're lucky, you get 2 or 3 really good people to be in your life. And John has definitely been a great friend and mentor to me. Spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, outside of racing. And man, I just appreciate him so much. Nice. Yeah, send me some. I'm all about that. But yep, appreciate everybody coming on, man, and hanging out with us. My buddy Jasper's live feed started a few minutes ago, so go over there and check out what him and Limpy have to say. And everybody have a great week, man. We'll get your butts over to King of Columbus this weekend. If not, make sure you tune in to No Prep Felons Live. My man Bob will be on scene with the live feed. Having a great time with everybody, as always. You know, he's one of the best in the biz. We appreciate and love him too. So, absolutely, man. Absolutely. You know, I don't know. There's nothing better, man. There's just absolutely nothing better than racing, people in racing. And when you get to know them, man, so many of you guys have become family for sure. You know, we're all connected. We all love racing. And so it's so easy to get to know each other, right? Because we already do. I like cars that go fast. Me too. Did we just become best friends? Yup. You know, Step Brothers impersonation, not very good, I know, but you know, whatever. Absolutely, man. So we will have him. I'll you know, we'll get John back on here, and maybe we'll do some more technical stuff, because the dude you know, one thing, I mean, that's how we became such great friends, right? um, you know, and that dude just, he's about all the details and all the little, like he was just talking about the transmissions, you know, sometimes it's not throwing big parts or big dollars at it. It's just teeny tiny nuances to get a lot more performance out of it. And that's one of the things I really respect about him is, you know, he's about the attention to the tiniest details to squeak and listen, to squeak out every last thousandth or hundredth or whatever, because it all accumulates and turns into tenths and half seconds and seconds, right? And that's how he's been able to, that, you know, that kind of strategy and discipline is a big contributor to his success in racing. So he's definitely an amazing dude. So we'll get him back on. Listen, all of you. Oh, well, he just said 2,000 flywheel safely, no issues, 59 pounds of boost on an aluminum block. That's pretty far. So we'll get John back on here in the near future. Next week, it is insane, isn't it? Next week we'll recap King of Columbus, and we'll get you guys updated with Landon Helm and those guys with the Lake Cumberland race, and of course PYOP. And I know there's a couple other next weekends, but right, and that's stock aluminum block. I mean, that's the craziest thing about it. That's a stock aluminum block. And I'm terrified to see what this man does with he just said he's got a billet block on the way. Ugh. He wants to be in the threes, and I believe he can get there. But yeah, so we'll review. Hopefully, King Columbus. Excuse me. Hopefully, you guys show up National Trail Saturday for King Columbus. Stop by and say hi if you see me wandering around, drooling all over everybody's race cars and having fun. And yeah, I'm telling you, John is a wizard. So we'll definitely get him back on and get everybody up to speed on how you can get your stock aluminum block to produce 2,000 flywheel horsepower. And like I said, hopefully we'll see everybody at Kings of Columbus. If not, make sure you tune into Bob No Prep Felons Live on Facebook, YouTube, to catch all the action. I know there's quite a few people attending and or talking about attending. Weather forecast looks great, and we're going to have a great time. Well, you know, I'm not affiliated with the race at all, but I'm going to go and hang out with all of you guys and gals and have a great time doing that. Maybe I'll take my camera. I kind of haven't been in much of a mood to do that, but maybe I'll take some of this new gear out and try and do something. Heck yeah. Yeah, 15 grand for the stick shift is amazing, bro. And we're working on some pretty good things for Uncaged. If you're just tuning in, you probably want to go back to the beginning and hear all the updates. You know, we're definitely did a lot of changes to make it a better experience for everybody, and including the racers and more racers. So we're gonna have a great time. We're gonna have an even better time this year. We had a great time last year, but we're gonna have an even better time this year. So, all right, everybody, have a great week. I appreciate you, and I gotta go eat. I'm dying over here. So, thanks for hanging out, and we'll talk to you soon.